Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is your Vedic astrology coach, Rohit Kapoor, and welcome to my channel, The Legit Astrologer. This is the monthly transit updates for the month of August, where I'm going to give you the most detailed view of the planetary shifts, of transits, what you can expect in the month of August, how you can make the most of it, and what could be certain remedies for you. We are stepping into the retrograde season of 2025, where Saturn and Mercury are already in a retrograde motion. At the physical level, you must read this from your ascendant sign. However, at the mental, emotional level, you can also read this from your moon sign. Let us begin with Aries ascendant signs or the Aries moon signs. At the physical level, you will read this from your ascendant sign. At the mental, emotional level, you can also read this from your moon sign. So, what is happening in the month of August 2025? I'm going to give you the most important planetary shifts, the key updates, what you can expect, and how you can make the most of the month of August. Let us begin with the first planet, that is your Lagna Lord, Lord of the Ascendant, which is Mars or Mangal. And he also becomes the Lord of the eighth house. Mars represents yourself, your body, your vitality, your immunity, and is also responsible for transformation of all kinds. Mars is making a transit in your sixth house, in the earthy sign of Virgo, and it is going to be in a mutual aspect with a retrograde Saturn. So somehow your decision making is going to be a little bit on a weaker side in the month of August. Because firstly, your Lagna Lord has gone into the sixth house. It will help you focus a lot on your daily routine. You would need to put a lot of energy in anything and everything you do on a day-to-day basis. From a health and well-being point of view, you would want to improve your health, your vitality by the virtue of your lifestyle. But seventh aspect of Saturn is very strong when it goes retrograde. It has a very powerful seventh drishti, which will somehow suppress these action oriented energies of Mars and might bring in a sense of lethargy in your life. Though it is a wonderful month for you to reconnect with your old friends, old acquaintances, previous colleagues, ex employers, or ex colleagues, because Saturn is retrograde. Mercury is also retrograde, who is the sixth lord in your case, and Mars, your Lagna lord, is making a transit in the sixth house itself. So your 6-12 axis is very active. Spiritually, it is good. So any spiritual practice that you start, yoga, sadhana, you have an opportunity to be consistent with this practice, and that is something which you should probably look forward to do. Mars's aspects are very strong during this time. It is aspecting your ninth house, it is aspecting your 12th house, and it is also aspecting your Lagna. So, all in all, it is either aspecting its own sign of Aries or it is aspecting the friendly signs of Sagittarius as well as Pisces. So, somehow, fortune is being protected, and this protection is coming from you, but not the most ideal time to make some big decisions in your life. Now, the next transit I'm going to talk about is Jupiter, who continues to make a transit in the third house. But during the month of August, till 21st of August, it is in conjunction with Venus. So both the gurus are coming together in your third house, forming a very beautiful yoga. And they're aspecting the ninth house. So your ninth house particularly has a lot of aspects during this time. And this is something which you should watch out for. Even Saturn is aspecting the sign of Sagittarius. And your ninth house, particularly, you could have travel related opportunities. You can go on a spiritual retreat or a spiritual journey. You could go for higher education, spiritual education. This is quite beneficial for you. When Venus and Jupiter, both the gurus, come in your third house, you must get some guidance from someone senior, your mentor, your idol, someone you look up to. This is not only going to expand your communication, but it is going to bring in a sense of poise and elegance in your communication, because Venus also represents interaction. So if you are in creative jobs, performing arts, or if your work involves media, communication, also artistic ventures, this could be an extremely favorable month for you, considering the fact that besides Venus and Jupiter making a yoga in your third house, Jupiter temporarily is getting some support from its Marankarak position. Sun will also be making a transit in your fifth house on 16th of August. Sun is your fifth lord, so it's a very powerful position that Sun has for the next 1 month between mid of August till mid of September. So the first half of the month, I could say that yes, It is challenging in terms of making vital decisions, in terms of looking after yourself. But the second half is more promising because Sun is in a great dignity. So if you're expecting any sort of movement with your work, any sort of elevation, resources being favorable for you, this is where you can look up to it. And on 21st of August, Venus will enter your fourth house, where it gains directional strength or is Digbali during this time. So this is where you could probably expect some sort of comfort level in your life, some sort of relaxation, right? So this is how you could probably read this transit. The next important planet for you, and of course, I could look at a number of factors here. Mercury is going to move in a direct motion on 11th of August. So in all, I could say that second half is more promising for you in terms of making some vital decisions. But one thing is good that throughout the month of August, the sign of Sagittarius has a particular attention. It is under great benefic influence. It is being aspected by Jupiter, also Mars, who are Yogakarka Graha for you. So fortune is favorable. Any travel-related work that you will take is going to bring in some good results. You can go for higher education. From a remedial point of view, you must look at remedying Mars. That is your loving Lord. So either worship Lord Vishnu, use a 6-syllable mantra, that is Om Vishnave Namah, or you can also use a Narsimha mantra or worship Lord Kartikeya. And you will be blessed, and I wish you the very best in the month of August. Taurus ascendant signs or the Taurus moon signs. At the physical level, you will read this from your ascendant sign. At the mental, emotional level, you can also read this from your moon sign. I'm going to give you the most important planetary shifts, important updates from a transit point of view, what you could expect, some highs and lows, and how you can make the most of the month of August. Let us begin with your loving Lord, Lord of the Ascendant, that is Venus in your case, Shukra. Venus also becomes your sixth lord. So it rules two important lordship. Lord of the Ascendant and your sixth lord is already making a transit in your second house. And this is where it is forming a very nice Dhan Yoga. For the first 21 days, Venus is conjoined with Jupiter. Jupiter in your case becomes the 11th lord. So both are giving you a Dhan Yoga or a Wealth Yoga in the month of August. If you're expecting a rise in your income, if you're expecting some family matters to get resolved where some paperwork is involved, if you're expecting to bring in a change in your dietary requirement, the first 21 days for you are quite important, quite crucial, because there is a beautiful Dhan Yoga which is there in the second house. Venus rules yourself, your body, your vitality, your immunity, and it also rules your daily routine, deaths, diseases. Jupiter for you is the 8th and the 11th lord. Not the most ideal planet, but momentarily Venus is in a stronger disposition in this conjunction. So this is a good news for you. Jupiter is going to expand all these significations. So your speech is going to be quite invaluable over the course of next few weeks. So you can gain benefits out of it. You will build cordial relationship. You would bring in a good change in your dietary requirement. You might, feel the need of getting indulged in different foods, but this is where you have to be a little bit careful as well. You will bring in a lot of softness in your voice, in your speech. And of course, you must look at creating a secondary source of income. The first 21 days, from a decision making point of view, is quite good. And this is where you can make the most of it. Now, let me also talk about other important planets. Mercury, who becomes your fifth lord and also the second lord. Mercury is an important planet because it rules your fifth house. So it plays a very important role for Taurus ascendants because it rules your future, positional success. Mantras are seen from the fifth house. Fifth lord has the most important lordship. This Mercury is going retrograde for the first 11 days of August. Saturn's also going retrograde, who is your ninth lord. So when your fifth lord and ninth lord are in a retrograde motion, it is time for you to look back, re-evaluate your past decisions. Since Saturn is also your 10th lord, these decisions, actions can be related to your work. Mercury being your fifth lord and the second lord, these decisions could also be related to your children, your family, and your finances. So over the course of next few weeks, you would need to do some sort of financial management, planning, and also critical decisions from the past would resurface where now you have to revisit these decisions. So it is a good time. The energies are quite good. See, any major decision you can take after the 11th of August when Mercury moves in a direct motion because it holds a great lordship for you. It's your fifth lord. So avoid making any critical decisions till about 11th of August. In case it's extremely important for you, then of course you can go ahead with it. Venus, your Lagna Lord, is going to move in your third house. That will happen on 21st of August, where it will form a yoga with Mercury. So Venus and Mercury will be in a nice yoga towards the last week of August, where your desires are going to be quite on a higher side. And this is something which you need to channelize. So last week of the month, you can invest or spend your energies in writing, journaling, doing something where your hands are involved. Saturn, who's your ninth and the 10th lord, going retrograde in the 11th house. See, one thing is quite sure. Over the course of next few weeks, you would start gradually putting less efforts and you will get more results when it comes to your fortune and your work and travel related opportunities as well. Because during the retrograde motion of Saturn, though it is extremely slow, it will give you results in limited efforts as well. This is something which you can certainly anticipate. You must also take into account that second half of the month, Sun is entering your fourth house, which is a little bit of a weak position for Sun because it has zero direction here. Moreover, it will be conjoined with Ketu. So there is certain affliction. But Sun is in the sign of Leo. It's in a comfortable position, but not the most comfortable house. The second half of the month, 16 August onward, you could struggle with regards to workplace resources. And this is a time when you will have to step out of your comfort zone and also take care of your father's health or relationship with your father, especially during the second half of August. Mars is going to be entering your fifth house, and throughout the month of August, it is going to stay in the fifth house. That's your seventh and the 12th Lord. So Kendra Lord making a transit in the triangle house is a yoga. It is a Raj yoga in transit. So the energy level is quite high when it comes to future planning. This Mars is in a mutual aspect with Saturn. Saturn is a yoga karaka planet for you. So let the energies of Saturn drive this Mars in the appropriate direction. So bring in a lot of discipline with what you do for your future. Remedy Saturn and remedy Mercury, most importantly, throughout the month of August. These are the two planets that you have to look up to in terms of making critical decisions for yourself. Gemini ascendant signs or the Gemini moon signs. So what is happening in the month of August? At the physical level, you will see this from the ascendant sign only. At the mental or the emotional level, you can also see this from your moon sign. So what is happening in the month of August? I'm giving you the most important planetary updates, certain shifts, what you could expect, some highs and lows, ups and downs, and how you can make the most of the month of August. Let us begin with your Lagna Lord, Lord of the Ascendant, that is Buddha, Mercury. And Mercury is going to be moving in a retrograde motion till 11th of August. And that is happening in your second house. This is where it will also be conjoined with Sun, who is your third lord. So both Sun and Mercury are forming a nice, beautiful Buddha Aditya yoga during this time. Mercury is also under combustion. So the first few days of the month of August, particularly till 13th or 14th of August, not the most ideal time for you to make important decisions related to your life in terms of signing important paperworks, getting into important contracts or agreements, particularly if it's related to your house. You need to be a little bit conscious here, not the most ideal time. If you're renewing things, then it is fine. If you're initiating new things, then of course you have to be a little bit careful. Do not make any decisions out of impulsion because your impulsive quotient will be very high till 11th of August in terms of spending money, in terms of using your finances. You will not think twice, and you like something, you would like to buy it, but later you might regret. So this is where you have to be a little bit careful. 11th of August, Mercury will move in a direct motion. Thereafter, it is gradually a good time, mid-August onwards, because Sun will also move to your third house, giving you more parakram, giving you more valor, giving you more courage, because it will be in its own sign of Leo, though it will be conjoined with Ketu. But this will be a very good time to sign important paperwork, to do any documentation, and also to go on spiritual journeys, because resources are going to be favorable for you in terms of making any decisions. Throughout the month of August, you have to remedy your Lagna Lord Mercury, because it's in a little bit of an uncomfortable position from a sign point of view. It does not feel at ease in the sign of Cancer. Cancer is a very compassionate sign. Mercury is a childlike planet. It wants to stay out of all these, emotional baggages and burden. Next important planet for you is Venus, who is the only Yogakaraka planet for Gemini ascendants. Venus, for the first 21 days, is moving through your ascendant, where it is in a beautiful yoga with Brihaspati, Devaguru Jupiter, who is your 10th lord. Venus is your 5th lord. 5th lord and 10th lord making a transit in the Kendra house is absolutely a wonderful yoga in transit. This kind of yoga would not happen for the next 12 years, where they make a transit in your ascendant, giving you that power of wisdom, eloquence, and also the power of interaction. So you need to make the most of this time till 21st of August to build credible, meaningful, long-lasting relationship, and to make the most of these relationships. Since Mercury is retrograde, Saturn's retrograde, who's your Lagna Lord Mercury and your ninth Lord Saturn. So it's a perfect time to revisit matters related to your family, matters related to your teachers, your education, and also your transformation. Look back at your transformation and what you learned from it, and how you could revisit certain matters for your own benefit. So you have to leverage these energies in terms of revisiting your past, which is absolutely essential for you. Jupiter gains directional strength in your first house. Venus is forming a beautiful yoga. So make the most of these energies in order to create an influence on other people and a good influence on other people. This is something which you must remember. Mars is making a transit in your fourth house. Mars is also one of the karakas for the fourth house. So matters related to property, real estate, land, it could be a favorable time because Mars is your 11th lord. So it is forming a yoga in transit, which will give you some financial gains related to your assets. It could bring some obstruction as well. That would depend on your ongoing dasha antardasha. But Mars definitely is putting you out of your comfort zone. What you need to do in order to channelize your energies at the mental level is exercise each and every day and spend enough time as much as you can in the gym. Last week of the month, post 21st of August, Venus is entering your second house, where it will be in a yoga with your Lagna Lord Mercury. Now, end of August, early September is an excellent time for financial gains, because both Venus as well as Mercury are forming a most beautiful Dhan Yoga. If you have a well disposed moon in your chart, financial gains are inevitable, regardless of your dasha and dasha, whatever time period that you're running. You must look at remedying moon 21st August onwards, and this is where you can make the most of this time. Saturn is moving in a retrograde motion, so it is extremely slow paced Saturn. Time to revisit your career choices if you haven't already. Saturn's also looking back at your ninth house. Time to also revisit your past travel, and it is having a very strong drishti on the fourth house and also on Mars. So it will try to suppress those energies. So your 4-10 axis is pretty active, a sense of balance between your work life and your life at home. Remedy Mercury, use either a Vishnu mantra or read Shri Suktam on a daily basis to give strength to Venus, and may you have a blessed month. Cancer ascendant signs or the Cancer moon signs. At the physical level, you will read this from your ascendant sign. At the mental or the emotional level, you can also read this from your moon sign. This is the transit update for the month of August, where I'm going to talk about the most important planetary transits for you, some highs and lows, ups and downs, and what you could expect in the month of August. So one thing is quite prominent, that this month will witness 3 planets in your ascendant, but at different times. Firstly, first half of the month, Sun continues to make a transit in your ascendant, who is your second lord. So Sun is bestowing a very good transit for you throughout the month of August. It is in the ascendant where it is the significator of the ascendant. It is conjoined Mercury, who gains direction strength in the ascendant. And Mercury is retrograde till 11th of August. It will go in a direct motion on 11th. So first 10 days, not the most ideal time to make important decisions in your life or sign some important paperwork. If there are documents that require, renew and you're time bound, you can always go ahead with it. But new work, fresh start is something that should be avoided. Though Sun is bringing the power of rigor, ego in your ascendant. So one thing is sure that you have to keep your ego aside. Sun and Mercury are forming a beautiful Buddhaditya yoga for the first half of the month. Excellent time to learn and to upskill yourself. Venus and Mercury will also form a yoga towards the later part of August, after 21st of August. Venus is your fourth lord and the 11th lord. Mercury is your third and the 12th lord. Not the most ideal planets for you, but they're certainly supporting you from a financial point of view. And this is where, since there are multiple planetary energies, you must look at strengthening your Lagna Lord Moon or Chandrama during the month of August. You can do that by using a Krishna mantra, or you could probably do that by strengthening your mind in terms of using meditation related practices. And this is how you can channelize these energies. Sun is going to enter your second house in the second half of the month in the sign of Leo, which is its own sign. So Sun is forming a Dhan Yoga, though it will be conjoined with Ketu. There are a lot of fiery energies in your second house. You have to be careful of your speech, what you convey to others, because you can have a sense of authority or a dominance in your speech. So this could lead to certain argument or quarrels with other people. Thankfully, there is no Papa Kartari Yoga in your ascendant because there are benefics in the 12th house. So at least you are under some protection because there is a benefic influence in your Lagna throughout the month of August. But for financial matters, second half of the month is better for you to make certain decisions related to your family, related to your finance, and of course, if you were to create a secondary source of income. You must look at strengthening Sun by staying consistent every day, having a morning routine, and a little bit of prayer that you could do at the night before going to bed. This is also a way how Moon gets strength in your chart because Moon is a night strong planet. So mantras and remedies used in the evening are the best. If you were to strengthen Venus, then it is during the day. If you were to strengthen Moon, then it is best done during the evening time or late evening as well at times. Venus and Jupiter are forming a yoga in your 12th house. Both the gurus are there. 12th house is the house of spirituality, moksha, liberation. It is also the house of sleep or bed comforts. So one thing that is good, that you will not have any sleep issues unless there is severe affliction to the 12th house of your natal chart. So this is an opportunity for you to fix your sleep, to manage all of these issues and build your spiritual knowledge. Jupiter represents all kinds of spiritual gyan or spiritual knowledge. Venus represents the mundane knowledge. This is where you'll spend your energies. This is where you will give. So if you are in a workplace context, in a job, the best remedy for you during the month of August could be to teach others, to help others learn. Jupiter being your ninth lord, making a transit in the 12th house along with Venus. Venus holds a greater strength during this time. So your devotional quotient or capacity will be quite high in the month of August. Another important planet for you is Mars, who is the Yoga Karaka or the most favorable planet for you, who becomes the fifth and the 10th lord, making a transit in the third house of valor, courage. So Mars is making a transit here, and Mars is the significator or the Karaka, Naisargik Karaka of the third house. He represents valor, courage, energy, also siblings, particularly the younger co-borns. So it's an excellent time period for you for any sort of initiation, but second half is more better. So you will have overflow of energies. Any efforts that you would put with regards to your work and your future, you will get results. Results are guaranteed. There could be a little bit of a delay, because Mars is in a mutual aspect with Saturn. Both of them are aspecting each other, but Saturn's aspect is quite strong. It is quite powerful during this time because it is the seventh aspect when it is retrograde. So it will try to suppress some of these energies, create some sort of delay when it comes to important paperwork, agreements, contracts, or any learning opportunities. But if you continue to stay active all through the day, you would be able to sail through this time. And this is where you need to maximize. And once again, Mercury and Saturn are retrograde for the first few days of August together. It is time to revisit your past decisions pertaining to your siblings, co-bonds, or your marriage relationship. Look back at your past, revisit your past in order to see what some of the experiences were and try to let go the emotional baggage that you've been carrying. This is the most ideal remedy for you in the month of August. Leo ascendant signs or the Leo moon signs. What is happening in the month of August? I'm going to give you the most important planetary updates, some highs and lows, ups and downs, what you can expect in the month of August, how you can make the most of it, and from a remedial point of view, what is that you should be doing. Let us begin with the lord of your ascendant, the Lagna, that is Surya or Sun. First half of the month, Sun will be making a transit in your 12th house. That is in continuation in the sign of Cancer, the very watery, emotionally, and compassionate sign of Cancer. And it will be conjoined with Mercury. Sun and Mercury are forming a Buddhaditya Yoga. Mercury is going to be retrograde till 11th of August. First half of the month is not the most ideal time for you to make major decisions pertaining to yourself, pertaining to your friends, and pertaining to your family and also your finances. Your expenses need some sort of re-evaluation. See, when Mercury goes retrograde and it is conjoined with your lucky Lord Sun, it is time for you to revisit your past. Moreover, Saturn's also retrograde, who's sitting in the 8th house. Saturn is your 7th Lord and your 6th Lord. So again, revisiting your past with regards to your relationship matters. Mercury rules your 2nd house, family matters, finance matters. 11th house, friends, and also conflicts with other people. Your illusions need some sort of revisit. So you could fix some of those things. Of course, first 15 days, it is an ideal time to continue to build your spiritual practice. Do mantra sadhana, yoga, and any sort of practices will help you stay consistent. 16th of August, Sun is entering your ascendant. Please welcome Surya Dev in your ascendant, in your Lagna, who is the Naisargik Karaka of the ascendant. Though it will be conjoined with Ketu, but there are a lot of fiery energies in your ascendant. Please worship Lord Shiva. Look up to him when Sun makes a transit in your ascendant. That is the most ideal remedy for you throughout the month of August. Use a Panchakshari mantra, that is Namah Shivaya, or use a simple mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Sadashivaya. This is how you will be able to channelize the most of these energies in the month of August. But yes, second half is very good to make important decisions, to look forward, and of course, decisions pertaining to yourself. You will improve your health, your body, your vitality, and you will see some good positive changes in the second half. Mars is a yoga karaka, or the most favorable planet for you. Becomes your 4th lord and the 9th lord. So 4th lord making a transit in the 2nd house, and the 9th lord also making a transit in the 2nd house is a dhan yoga in transit, or a financial yoga. So firstly, Venus and Jupiter's conjunction is also giving you a financial yoga. Venus is your 10th lord and Jupiter is the 5th lord, making a transit in the 11th house. So your 2nd house and 11th house are going to have prominent planets. Two of them are Karaka planets for you. Venus is also more or less a neutral planet. So this month you can expect some sort of financial gains when it comes to work, when it comes to your job, if you put the right kind of efforts there. See, Mars is going to bring in fiery energies in your 2nd house. You have to be very careful of your speech, particularly considering the fact that Mars and Saturn will be in a mutual aspect. Saturn will try and suppress Mars. It will try and overpower because that has a stronger 7th aspect compared to Mars's aspect. So this is where you have to be little bit careful in terms of dealing with these energies. Be very careful while talking to other people. Do not try and vent out your emotions on social media platforms or get into any sort of verbal argument with others. This could be detrimental towards your relationship. And this is where you have to be a little bit careful. But from a financial point of view, this looks like a very promising month in case you're expecting a rise in your income. Jupiter is already giving you a Dhan Yoga in the 11th house. Now it will be conjoined with Venus. Both these benefits are going to give you great results for the first 21 days of the month. So, a good time for you to apply for new jobs, look for new opportunities, and have some sort of financial gains that you can over the course of next few weeks. From a remedial point of view, I've already shared with you, worship Lord Shiva. That is the ultimate remedy for you. Last week of August, Venus and Mercury are forming a yoga in your 12th house. There are two benefits. If you had any sleep related issues, now you will improve. This time period could increase your expenditure, might make you impulsive in terms of dealing with your finances, and especially where friends are involved. Avoid borrowing or lending money with friends, particularly end of August and early September, not the most ideal time. So you have to take care of your finances. You have to ensure that you do some sort of budget exercise. Ketu and Rahu's axis continues to be your 7 and first axis, where Rahu is in the 7th house, gaining directional strength. Ketu is in the first house. They are conjoined. They are making a sambandha with your Lagna Lord Surya. So you will definitely have some sort of illusion, confusion in your mind. So make sure that you reach out to either your spouse or someone who's a trusted advisor to take some support and get some guidance that you can in the month of August. Virgo ascendant signs or the Virgo moon signs. What is happening in the month of August? I'm going to give you the most important planetary updates, some highs and lows, ups and downs, what you can expect in the month of August, and how you can make the most of it. Also, from a remedial point of view, what is that you can expect? Let us begin with the Lagna Lord or Lord of your ascendant, that is Mercury or Buddha, who continues to make a transit in your 11th house. And that is there throughout this month, where Mercury is going to go, is already going retrograde, but it will go direct on 11th of August. So the first 10 days, 11 days, or more so till mid of August, I would say, when Mercury ideally is also combust, not the most ideal time for you to make any important decisions pertaining to yourself and your work, your job, your business, because Mercury is also your 10th lord. So, not the most ideal time to make some of these decisions that must be avoided for the first 10, 11 days. After that, yes, it's a very progressive transit. It's a fortunate transit. There is a financial support. There is a Dhan Yoga that Mercury is giving, particularly end of August, when Mercury will be conjoined with Venus, and both of them are going to be forming a Dhan Yoga. Venus is your ninth lord, and both of them will be forming a Dhan Yoga towards the last 9 days of August, 10 days of August, where you could expect some sort of financial gains and of course your decisions to be the right ones. This will also create an opportunity. End of August, early September is a very good opportunity for you to build influence on other people, create that influence, increase your network, and leverage the power of your network during this time. Now, another important transit for you is definitely the transit of Venus, because Venus becomes your ninth lord and it also becomes the second lord. So it plays a very important role in all financial matters. So throughout the month of August, Venus is giving you the most beautiful transit. So it will be conjoined with Jupiter for the first 21 days. Both of them are significators, secondary significators of the 10th house. Venus represents all relationships at work. Jupiter represents your knowledge and wisdom at work. And it is time for you to expand the power of Jupiter to build your knowledge, build your wisdom, leverage your wisdom, and to also build credible, meaningful, long lasting relationships at work. You can also leverage from your past relationships. See, when Mercury and Saturn go retrograde, this is time for you to revisit your past. Saturn's your fifth lord, Mercury is your Lagna lord. So, this is your past related to yourself, your children, Mercury is also your 10th lord, so it is also related to your ex-colleagues, either your bosses as well or ex-employers. This is an excellent time to reconnect with similar people. Mercury is also looking back at your 10th house, meanwhile, when it is retrograde. But Venus and Jupiter's energy are quite prominent in the 10th house. Definitely till 21st of August, it is a good time to make key decisions related to your work, but only after 11th of August, right? And throughout the month of August, then you could probably make some key decisions. Mars is going to be making a transit in your ascendant, your Lagna. So there are a lot of fiery energies in your ascendant, but Mars is not the most ideal planet for you. It will be in a mutual aspect with Saturn. And Saturn will have a much stronger seventh aspect on Mars because the Saturn is retrograde. So it has a very strong seventh aspect. It is bringing energy and also discipline in your ascendant, in your Lagna. So this is an excellent month for you to maintain and bring in consistency in your life and maintain that throughout the time. The power of labor is aspecting your ascendant. There's a lot of energy in your ascendant. There's overflow of energy. Your 1-7 axis is pretty active. Avoid confrontation with your partner. Avoid any sort of argument because this could be a little bit challenging from a relationship point of view, right? There are 4 planets making a transit in your Kendra houses, quadrant houses. Thankfully, your fundamentals are going to be pretty strong throughout the month of August. You can make key decisions in the second half of August, which is a good time. Sun will be making a transit on 16th of August in your 12th house. Your 12th lord making a transit in the 12th house is giving you a Viparita yoga in transit. And this Sun is conjoined with Ketu. So it is in the axis of Rahu and Ketu. Spiritually, it is very good. And when Sun goes in 12th house, it is definitely Maran Karaka or a death-like position for Sun. But somehow the native's father goes out of the way to support. So please reach out to your father or a father figure or your guru or someone who you look up to spiritually. This is going to bring you some very good results and progress that you can make. Saturn, who is an important planet for you because he's your 5th lord, and Saturn continues its retrograde motion, it is going to be extremely slow, moving through your 7th house. But this is where Saturn gains direction strength, or it is Digbali. So you have to make the most of this transit. See, one thing is sure that this is going to eventually strengthen your relationship. But in order to do that, you have certain lessons that you have to learn. Because retrograde planets help us learn some lessons, either the easy way or the hard way. But this time, if you're running through a business or you're looking at relationships, you will put very little efforts and you will get results. This is what you have to perhaps look up to. From a remedial point of view, look up to Venus, your 9th lord. Do mantras related to goddess Lakshmi. A simple Lakshmi mantra, that is Om Lakshmi Nama, will be absolutely beneficial for you, or you can read Shri Suktam on a daily basis, and may you have a pleasant month of August. Libra ascendant signs or the Libra moon signs. What is happening in the month of August? I'm going to give you the most important planetary updates, some highs and lows, ups and downs, what you're going to expect in the month of August, and how you can make the most of these planetary energies and shifts that are happening in the month of August. So let us begin with understanding the transit of the Lord of your Lagna or the ascendant, that is Venus, Shukra. Venus rules your ascendant and it is also your 8th Lord. So it is making a transit firstly in your 9th house for the first 21 days of the month, where it will be forming a beautiful yoga with Jupiter. Jupiter is the primary significator of the 9th house. So from that point, it is quite an auspicious transit for you. Jupiter, though, becomes your 3rd and the 6th lord, not the most ideal planet, but since Venus has a stronger disposition, it has a greater say in this conjunction, it is in great strength. So month of August is a very good time for you to make important decisions. I would say the first 21 days and even beyond that, because after that, Venus will enter your 10th house. So any decisions related to yourself, your work, travel, journeys, your job, and also your efforts and any decisions where your siblings are also involved, you will mostly get favors during this time. You must look up to your Lagna Lord Venus in terms of any remedies, in terms of any strength that you were to give, this is what you have to look up to. Both Venus and Jupiter will be jointly aspecting your third house by the seventh aspect of desire. Though Venus's aspect is much stronger, Saturn will also be aspecting your third house, right? Mars will also be aspecting your third house. So a lot of energies are there in your third house. So you'll have very strong desires in the month of August. So one thing is good, that any efforts that you will put, because you're getting support of so many planets, and two of them are Karak grahas for you, which is Saturn and Venus. And Jupiter is also good in terms of making its aspect, right? So this is where your efforts are being protected, because fourth aspect of Mars is also giving protection. So any efforts that you will put, you will get results. So do not shy away from putting efforts. Third house also represents journeys, start of something new, change. Change is inevitable. You can start new projects, you can start new line of work, in spite of Mercury going retrograde, in spite of Saturn going retrograde, and don't be bothered of all these energies, or probably what people say. Now, Venus later is going to move in your 10th house, where it is also one of the significator of the 10th house, because he represents relationship at work, people at work. And this Venus will be forming a yoga with Mercury after 21st of August. Mercury is already giving you yoga because it's your ninth lord in the 10th house. Now, Venus is your ascendant lord in the 10th house. Last week of August, early September is a very good time to make work related decisions, to go for a new job or apply at new places. Or probably if you were to shift or change your job, this could be an absolutely favorable time for you. First half of the month, Sun is in your 10th house. Sun gains directional strength in the 10th house. It is Digbali till 16th of August. It is conjoined with Mercury, forming a beautiful Bodhadhyaya Yoga. First half of August is very good for you to learn things related to your workplace. Increase your learning quotient, get some support there. Thereafter, in the second half, you can take important decisions that are pertaining to your work, where you can get maximum support, or how you can maximize during this time. This is something which you must look up to. Now, another important transit for you is the transit of Mercury, who is going retrograde till 11th of August, and on 11th it will go direct in your 10th house. Mercury is the primary significator of the 10th house because he represents learning. 10th house is the house of work, job. But in order to do your job, firstly, you need to learn. And this is what Mercury represents. So Mercury is, of course, giving you a nice yoga in the 10th house. If you work with people from other cultures, multinationals, you can get some support. You can also visit foreign land or travel to other places in the month of August or in September, because Mercury is giving you a favorable transit. Mars is also giving you a favorable transit in your 12th house, where it could support foreign journeys in spite of other aspects, because Saturn is having a very strong drishti on Mars. So it will try to suppress Mars, and Saturn is your fifth lord and the fourth lord. So it could make you move away from your homeland or home country, August or in September, in case you're running through a favorable Dasha Antardasha. Sun, who is your 11th lord, in the second half will move in your 11th house, where it will be conjoined with Ketu, but both these planets will give you favorable results in the 11th house. Sun is very strong during this transit because he is your 11th lord. So, from a financial point of view, the month of August looks promising. Work point of view, in terms of making any decisions, yes, one thing that you have to fix is your sleep and your lifestyle. If you're able to take care of these two things, then there's no looking back. Otherwise, it could become challenging for you. So you have to definitely do some spiritual sadhana, because your 6-12 axis definitely have those energies of Mars and Saturn, and that too in a mutual aspect will definitely create a lot of problems when it comes to health and well-being, if you do not fix your lifestyle, if you do not bring in a sense of discipline in your lifestyle. And this is what you should be doing from a remedial point of view. Scorpio ascendant signs or Scorpio moon signs. So what is happening in the month of August? I'm going to give you the most important planetary updates, key important shifts, highs and lows, ups and downs, what you can expect in the month of August, how you can maximize your opportunity, what are certain remedies for you. a quick snapshot and the most detailed view, I have a representation chart for you. So what is happening in the month of August? Let us begin with Mars or Mangal, who is the lord of your ascendant, your Lagna lord, and also your sixth lord, making a transit in the 11th house. Lagna lord and sixth lord Mars making a transit in the 11th house in the earthy sign of Virgo. So depending on the position of your natal Mercury, we could further ascertain the results. But this transit is going to give you most favorable results from a financial point of view, from a point of view of your confidence. So your confidence is going to see some sort of increase. 11th house is the house of your gains, your material comforts. We also see your friends from this house. The Lord of the 11th house is retrograde till 11th of August. Mercury also rules your 8th house. So you have to revisit your connection with your friends, past friends. There are some unresolved conflicts that you may have, which now you have an opportunity to resolve. Or you need to revisit your transformation. Something in your life previously where you transformed and it worked well for you. So if you revisit, you can get some message or some clues. See, because Mars is also connected to a retrograde Saturn who is making a transit in your fifth house. Saturn is your fourth and the third lord, and it is in a mutual aspect with your Lagna lord Mars. Saturn is in the house that represents your future, but it is looking back at your fourth house, which represents your home. Fifth house is also the house of your children. Revisit decisions related to your children, your connection, or your relationship with your children. Decisions that you took which were related to your home and your future. So, this is also a revisit that is required, particularly if it is linked to your work, because Saturn is the natural karam karak. So you can get most favorable results with regards to your work if you look up to these two planets. Now, another important transit for you is the transit of Sun or Surya. First half of the month, it is making a transit in your ninth house where it is supposed to be the secondary karaka or the significator because he represents dharma. Sun is conjoined Mercury. If you've not spent time in learning and upskilling yourself or going for higher knowledge, higher education, spiritual education, then you might be wasting your time. This is the last call for you. You must take into account. See, when planets go retrograde, particularly Mercury, who is retrograde in your ninth house, it could bring in some sort of setback momentarily. Because your fifth lord, Jupiter, is also in the eighth house, not the most comfortable position for Jupiter in Mercury's sign itself. So, this could bring in some delays or setbacks. But Sun is going to be entering your 10th house in its own sign of Leo, and Sun gains directional strength in the 10th house. So, this is that time of the year between mid August and mid September where any aradhana or sadhana that you do related to Surya, Sun, offer water to Sun first thing in the morning. And this is how you will get most benefit. 10th house Sun is Bhaga Aditya. Use the mantra Om Rini Bhaga Aditya while offering mantra, while offering water to Sun, or while you can also chant this mantra on a daily basis. Resources are going to be favorable for you. This Sun is conjoined Ketu. Ketu also does very well in the 10th house. It is again one of the positions where it gains directional strength. So they're most comfortable. There are a lot of fiery energies in work. So mid-August till mid-September can see some work-related developments because Mercury will go direct and Venus towards the end of the month will enter your ninth house. So it will create favorable circumstances for you and also your spouse. And this is where perhaps you can look up to some new opportunities. Jupiter continues to make a transit in your eighth house. Not the most comfortable position, but first 21 days, it is in yoga with Venus. So, absolutely a very good time to revisit your past again. See, transformation is going to be very easy for you because there are benefic influences in the eighth house. Health and well being is going to improve, thankfully. And this is something which you have to look forward to because there are benefic influences in your eighth house. It calls for transformation. Venus does well in the eighth house because it has the knowledge of Mrit Sanjeevani. And Venus, the eighth house, is the house of longevity. Life and death is also seen from the eighth house. So, of course, these two forming a yoga, you need to do some sort of research that could be potentially good for your future. Maybe try some different things. This way is not working well for you. Maybe you need to be more creative in your approach. So try and bring some changes in your approach, in your outlook. If certain things are not working well for you, this is an ideal tip that I'd like to give you. You can use an 8 syllable mantra, that is Om Namo Narayanaya, in order to channelize these energies to the best of your potential. Look up to your Lagna Lord Mars throughout the month of August. Second half, particularly look up to Surya and do remedies related to Surya in order to attract new opportunities in your life. Sagittarius ascendant signs or the Sagittarius moon signs. So, what is happening in the month of August? I'm going to give you the most important planetary updates, some highs and lows, ups and downs, what you can expect, and how you can make the most of the month of August, and certain remedies also that I can give you during this detailed transit update and forecast for the month of August. You must link this with your ongoing Dasha, Antardasha, Pratantardasha, and a mental emotion level. You can also connect it with your moon sign. Let us begin with the first planet, that is the Lord of your ascendant, and also your fourth Lord, who is Jupiter, Dev Guru Brihaspati, who continues to make a transit in your seventh house in the sign of Gemini. Seventh house is a little bit of a weak position for Jupiter because he is the one who gains directional strength in this house. In the seventh house, it is losing direction, or it is zero digbali. So therefore, it will definitely cause some obstruction when it comes to making decisions. It will, because it's a weak spot. But this month of August, exceptionally, he is getting support of Venus, who is the significator of the seventh house. So Venus is in a great disposition here, though not the most favorable planet for you. But two of these benefic planets making a transit in the seventh house and making a connection with your ascendant is a very beneficial time for you, because now momentarily Jupiter has got this support. Both of them are forming a yoga. This month could be extremely beneficial for your spouse to have some financial gains, to have some financial growth. There are four planets making a transit in your Kendra houses: Saturn, Venus, Jupiter, and Mars. Two of them are Karak grahas for you. Saturn is more or less neutral and Venus is in a good spot. So overall, month of August, your fundamentals, your pillars are very strong. So you could make some important decisions in your life. You could probably look forward to establishing new businesses, new ventures, new line of work. This is something which you can do. Now, another important planet for you is Mars, who is your fifth lord and also your 12th lord. Fifth lord is one of the most important planets for any ascendant. And I always say this: if you have a strong fifth lord, it solves a lot of problems. Or if you remedy your fifth lord, again, it could probably help you to a great extent. Mars is making a transit in your 10th house where it gains directional strength, or is Dig Bali. So the month of August is quite vital for new opportunities, job related matters, because these transits are extremely favorable. There's a lot of energy at your workplace. You will have overflow of energy at work, at job, in your business. And this is something which you have to deal with in terms of ensuring that you keep yourself hydrated all the time, you manage your levels of energies, and do not let you be overconfident. This situation, this is something which you consciously need to control. You need to channelize your ego accordingly, because second half of the month could make you egoistic. Mars and Saturn are in a mutual aspect throughout the month of August. Saturn's aspect is stronger. Firstly, Saturn's retrograde motion wants you to revisit your past related to your home, related to your family, because Saturn is your second lord and also your third lord. So, this could also be related to your siblings or your efforts. And since the retrograde motion is in your fourth house, it is connected to Mars during this time. This could also be a revisit related to your work matters. Mercury is also retrograde in your eighth house. So, time for you to definitely revisit matters related to relationship, your spouse, your family, work, and your comforts. This will help you. This is an exercise for you. This is like a therapy for you, which will let go of some emotional baggage. And you must do that for the first 10-15 days of the month. Another important planet for you is the transit. Another important planet for you is Surya. And he is making a transit for the first half of the month in your eighth house, where it is conjoined Mercury, who will go direct on 11th of August. Sun and Mercury are forming a Buddhaditya Yoga in your eighth house. So any education that you go for, any learning which is linked to research, which helps you, do a lot more research. Excellent time to learn Jyotish, occult. We see that from the eighth house. These are subjects that involve research. A lot of things are hidden. Second half of the month, Sun is going to enter your ninth house. Sun is the secondary Karaka or the significator of the ninth house. Fortune is going to be more favorable for you. But there is some obstruction. The Sun is conjoined Ketu. So you must look up to Lord Shiva from a remedial point of view. Do a mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Sada Shivaya. This will not only strengthen your Jupiter, but help you strengthen Sun and channelize these positive energies appropriately. Last week of August, Venus and Mercury are forming a yoga in your eighth house. So, any inheritance related matters, if you're expecting some financial gains, if you're expecting some paperwork, this could improve. Transformation is going to be easy for you. You will have greater focus on your health, vitality, well being. Your health is going to improve gradually. End of August, early September is a very good time for some of these pursuits, but continue to increase your spiritual practices, do mantra sadhana, and donate. If you were to improve your work related context, because Mars is your 12th lord, making a transit in your Karam Bhav, in your 10th house. So you must make donations in the month of August and September in order to improve your work related matters. Capricorn ascendant signs or the Capricorn moon signs. What is happening in the month of August? I'm going to give you the most important planetary updates, some highs and lows, ups and downs, what you can expect in the month of August, and how you can make the most of these planetary energies, certain shifts, and what you could expect as far as the month of August is concerned. Let us begin with understanding the transit of your loving lord, Saturn, who is also your second lord. It rules Capricorn and also Aquarius. Saturn is going retrograde in your third house in the sign of Pisces. So it is moving in an extremely slow pace. Whenever a planet goes retrograde, it is our time to reconnect with the past. It is giving us some message. Firstly, Saturn is looking back at your second house. Saturn is your lord of the ascendant and your second house. So definitely you need to revisit your past and the past related to your family. Try to let go of that emotional baggage. Saturn works best in the third house if you get some guidance from a guru, mentor, or someone that you trust. Even if you get an astrological guidance, then it will start working very well. Otherwise, it is not the most ideal planet in the third house. It mostly creates problems. But this time period, when it is going retrograde, it is having a very strong aspect on the ninth house. So it is somehow protecting and elevating your fortune. Mars is also making a transit in your ninth house throughout the month of August, and Saturn has a very strong drishti on Mars. So your 3-9 axis is very active. In the month of August and September, if you go on a spiritual journey, retreat, that is the best remedy for you. You perhaps do not need anything else, or visit a spiritual place, spiritual shrine, or donate to these places. This is an ideal remedy for you. Mercury is also going retrograde. Mercury is your ninth lord. So definitely you have to revisit your past related to your father, yourself, your family, your finances, and reevaluate those decisions and rethink what you can do in order to make the most of your future. You need to make some quick fixes here, particularly the first half of August. 11th of August, Mercury is going to move in a direct motion. So, this is Saturn's call. This is Saturn's message for you. Mercury will continue its retrograde motion till 11th of August, and 11th of August, it will go direct. Mercury is not considered most auspicious in the seventh house. It is a Maran Karak or a death-like position for Mercury. It is also retrograde and it is combust. So it's a double, triple whammy kind of a situation. So mid of August is not the most ideal time for you to make important decisions. Yes, but after August 15th, you can definitely consider making important decisions, signing important contracts, doing important paperwork, decisions pertaining to your relationship, your business, your work. All of that could be made during that time because Mercury will be direct. Last week of August, it is getting great support from Venus. I'm going to talk about Venus's transit as well. But this is what the state of Mercury is. When it is losing its signification, you have to put in more efforts. And this is where, from a remedial point of view, you have to look at Venus. See, till 21st of August, Venus is in your sixth house. It is Marankaraka for Venus as well. Mercury is also Marankarak. So, of course, when both of them are losing its signification and your Lagna Lord Saturn's retrograde, so not the most ideal time to make important decisions. But this Venus momentarily has some support of Jupiter. So one thing is good that till 21st of August, if you focus on your daily routine, if you focus on your health, your well-being, your lifestyle, you can bring in a very positive change in your lifestyle. So focus on those things. Focus on seva, on helping others, on giving others, on donating. You must donate things related to Jupiter. For example, yellow dal, turmeric, right? Yellow cloth. Or some of these things you can donate from a remedial point of view. Donate to places of worship. Respect your gurus, respect your elders, respect your parents. This is also, a great remedy for you. Venus will move in your seventh house. Last week of August is much better for making important decisions, for, of course, ensuring that you channelize these energies, and of course, ensuring that you get some success from your business as well. Sun will also be making a transit in your seventh house, first half of the month. This is also a weaker position for Sun. So you could have some dominance issues, some communication issues with your partner, with your spouse, which will gradually improve. Sun then will move in your eighth house in the second half of the month. Sun is giving you a Viparita yoga in transit. Circumstances, situation could go adverse. Eventually, you will rise off this situation. Spiritually, it is very good. Take care of your speech. Do not get into unnecessary argument or quarrels with people. So you must watch your decisions and, of course, defer some of the important decisions towards the later part of August or early September. And this is how you need to channelize these energies. And you must visit a spiritual place. You must go on a journey during August or September in order to gain the most from this time. From a remedial point of view, look at remedying Venus. This will help you improve significations of Venus, and also this will help you remedy Mercury during this time. Read Shri Suktam on a daily basis or use a simple Lakshmi mantra, that is Om Lakshmi Nama, in order to maximize this month of August. Aquarius ascendant signs or the Aquarius moon signs. At the physical level, you must read this transit report from your ascendant. At the mental emotional level, you can also read this from your moon sign. But primarily look at the ascendant. I'm going to give you the most important planetary updates, some shifts, what is happening in the month of August, highs and lows, ups and downs, and what you can expect, how you can make the most of these energies in the month of August, considering all the planetary transits and movements that are happening. Let us begin with the Lord of your ascendant, Lagna, and also your 12th Lord, Shani or Saturn, who continues to go retrograde in your second house. So Shani is Vakri. It is moving in an extremely slow pace, but this Shani is giving you a Dhan Yoga. It is giving you a wealth yoga during this time. So you must make the most of it. Whenever Saturn goes retrograde, which is your Lagna Lord, also the 12th Lord, now, simultaneously, Mercury is also going retrograde in your sixth house. Mercury is your fifth lord and it is also your eighth lord. So, you have to revisit matters pertaining to yourself, your family, your children, and some decisions that you took in the past which were related to your future. You need to reassess, you need to reevaluate. Or probably from a remedial point of view, I would suggest you to probably revisit those places which are linked to your childhood, that are linked to your past, or where you connected really well with your family. This will be very good for you. If you have some old baggages or probably not so good ties with some of your family members, this could be a very good time to rebuild those ties and learn the power of forgiveness and how it will help you become a better person. Shani definitely wants you to reevaluate your finances as well. Do some sort of budgetary exercise, curtail, compress. Shani is in a mutual aspect with Mars, so there's a lot of energies in your 2-8 axis. Mars is making a transit in your 8th house. Fiery energies in transformation. Mars is not the most ideal planet. So, from a work point of view, Mars rules your 10th house, more of a neutral planet for you. So it will bring some transformation related to work, some sort of unnecessary obstacles, delays, because Mars is having a very strong drishti of Saturn during this time. So you have to be prepared for getting new work, something that you've never done in the past. Unrealistic expectations that you might need to fulfill. So just be prepared for it. Continue your mantra sadhana and spiritual energies. It is not that bad after all. Venus, who is an important planet for you, the Yoga Karaka planet, because it rules a Kendra house and a trinal house, quadrant and trine. Venus is making a transit in your 5th house along with Jupiter. Both of them are forming a beautiful yoga in your 5th house. This kind of transit will not happen for the next 12 years. So, a very good time to manifest your future. So, anything that you do with regards to planning for your future, this is the time for you. If you have children, they could have some good outcome. They could have some gains or some sort of success recognition over the course of next few weeks. Any mantras that you will use, since 5th house represents mantras as well, it will be extremely beneficial for you. I would highly recommend either you use a Vishnu mantra, that is Om Vishname Nama, or a simple Lakshmi mantra to elevate the power of Venus, that is Om Lakshmi Nama, in order to maximize this transit energies. Jupiter is the significator. It is going to expand the significations of Venus. There will be romanticism. Love interest is going to be on a higher side. Your children's going to have success. And at the same time, if you have a powerful Mercury, a strong, well-disposed Mercury in your chart, your future is secure. This is something which you must remember. Mercury will go direct on 11th of August. This is where you can then take some important decisions in your life. But before that, you have to revisit your past. You must remember that. Last week of August, Venus and Mercury will be forming a yoga in your 6th house, though Venus is not considered very good. So, till 21st of August is a very good time for you to make some decisions, particularly around mid of August. After that, it could be a little bit challenging for you because of these energies. Sun is also going to be entering your 7th house in the second half of August. So, though Sun is in its own sign, but it's not a most positive house for Sun because it loses direction. So, you have to put in more efforts. So, this time period could bring in some authority issues with your spouse, some ego related issues, which could be very normal, very natural. So, continue to increase your spiritual sadhana, your spiritual quotient. Now, Jupiter, who is your 11th lord and the second lord, continues to make a Dhan Yoga and it is conjoined with Venus. So, financially, it's a very promising month till 21st of August. Your finances are going to be enough. Even beyond that, it's a very favorable month in order to improve your financial capacity, financial capability. But you need to be wary of your expenditure and control your expenditure to the maximum capacity than you can. This is something which you must remember and you must follow. From a remedial point of view, I've already shared with you, either you remedy Mercury or you remedy Venus during this time. Transformation is inevitable, so make sure that you're change ready, right? Because otherwise, Mars in the 8th house will force this transformation on you. There are conflicting energies between your 2-8 axis. This is something which you must understand, and may you have a progressive month of August. Pisces ascendant signs or the Pisces moon signs. What is happening in the month of August? I'm going to give you the most important planetary updates, some highs and lows, ups and downs, what you can expect in the month of August, and how you can make the most of these planetary energies or the planetary shifts and certain remedies as well. At the physical level, you must read this from your ascendant sign. At the mental or the emotional level, you can also read this from your moon sign. So let us begin with understanding the lord of your ascendant and its transit, who is Jupiter. And Jupiter is also your 10th lord. So it rules yourself, your vitality, your immunity, who you are, your decision making. And it also becomes the ruler of the 10th house, which is your work, your profession, your actions in the society. Jupiter continues to make a transit in your fourth house. So your 10th lord and the Lagna lord is in the fourth house, forming a very nice yoga because it is the trinal lord in the Kendra house and also an important Kendra 10th lord in your fourth house. During this transit, Jupiter is going to be conjoined with Venus. Venus gains directional strength in the fourth house. So there's a two planetary conjunction in your quadrant house. So one thing is sure, that your decision making is going to be more on a positive side in the month of August. Because firstly, you have Saturn in your ascendant, you have Venus, Jupiter, and Mars. And three of these planets are mostly good for you. Saturn is neutral, Jupiter and Mars are Karagrahas. So your decision making is mostly going to be on a positive side because your pillars, your fundamentals are quite strong in the month of August. So this is your time to maximize. Venus gains directional strength and it is giving good support to Jupiter. Though, of course, this time period could create certain conflicting energies as well, but it's not going to last very long. Venus is in a great disposition. So you must look at continue to strengthen your Lagna Lord Jupiter. Give it the right strength through mantra-based remedies or through other remedies. Consume food items related to Jupiter. Declutter your house. Clean your house. Clean your space. Do it yourself. This is also a remedy. Both of them are jointly aspecting your 10th house. Your 10th house is aspected by Saturn, by Jupiter, Venus, and also by Mars. So it is under great protection. So your workplace is being protected. Very good time to make important decisions, new initiation. If you were to change your job, if you were to change your work, this is your time to apply. Initially, there could be some conflict, there could be some obstacles, there could be some delay, but eventually you will have the capacity to get something new or make a good change if you work towards it. And this applies regardless of the dasha and the dasha that you're going through because transits are extremely favorable in this context. You will also have a nice peaceful situation at work as well. But on the relationship front, you have to be careful because there is an axis of Saturn and Mars in a mutual aspect in your first house and the seventh house. Mars and Maran Karak in the seventh house, Saturn's Maran Karak, and also retrograde in your ascendant. So both of them are in a weak disposition. Moreover, they are in a mutual aspect. So somehow you will not be very confident about your relationship, dealing with your partner, and it could be vice versa. There could be energy level mismatch, but throughout the month of August, if you're married, your partner can really go out of the way to help you, to support you. So make sure that you reach out to them. Avoid any ego battles or such issues that you could bring in. And this also applies in your business partnership. See, Mars is your second lord and the ninth lord. It's a very important planet for you. It is making a transit to the Kendra house where it is Manankaraka. It is losing signification. So you will have to consciously ensure that you maintain your levels of energy throughout the time, each and every day. That's like a life remedy for you. If you maintain your levels of energy, you will get good results. If you can't do that, then definitely you will have challenging results over the course of this transit. Mercury will be retrograde till 11th of August and thereafter it will move in a direct motion. Sun and Mercury are forming a very nice Buddha Aditya Yoga in your fifth house. Any educational pursuits that you do, that you venture, which is linked to your future somehow, you will gain the most. You will have beneficial results. Venus and Mercury will be forming a nice yoga in the fifth house during the last 9-10 days of the month. So this could be a very good time and a supporting factor for you to use any mantra based remedies. So mantras related to Jupiter. Use a simple mantra that is Om Guruve Namah and you chant it 12 times every day in order to maximize these energies and in order to elevate the positive qualities of this planet. Sun in the second half will be in your sixth house, forming a Viparita Yoga in transit. It will be in the Rahu Ketu axis, but Sun is very strong in the sixth house and it is also strong in the sign of Leo. So it will overpower. It will help you bring in a sense of consistency in your daily life, in your daily routine. And this is something which you must do. You will have the power to defeat your enemies mid-August through mid-September by the blessings of Sun and also the conjunction of Ketu. Because Ketu is not bad for you. Both of them have a respectful relationship with your Lagna Lord, Jupiter. And this is what you need to look up to. Manage your level of energy and bring in a sense of consistency in whatever you do on a day-to-day basis in order to maximize the energies of the month of August. So friends, this was yet another unique and detailed video on monthly transit updates and the monthly horoscope for the month of August this time, and hope and believe retrograde energies help us revisit our past in the most beautiful manner, in the most beneficial manner, and may we leverage these energies to the best of our capabilities and continue our prayers and devotion. Stay tuned for more such videos on our channel. Thank you very much. God bless you all.